Coral's first venture into race sponsorship in Ireland will be the Coral.ie Hurdle and the Coral.ie Leopardstown Handicap Chase at the South Dublin track on Sunday, January 17th. Coral sponsorship was announced during a visit to the Close Sutton stable of champion trainer Willie Mullins. Mullins had a career best year in 2015 with 33 Grade 1 wins, and he has made a flying start to the new year with 2 Grade 1 successes already on the board. He is responsible for 9 of the 40 entries for the €100,000 Coral.ie Hurdle. He has won the race on 3 occasions in the past, and topping the weights for the Coral Hurdle on this occasion is the lightly raced Ivan Grozny.
He's been very hard to train, and I'm not sure top weight will suit him. He's not the biggest horse in the world. He has the ability, but I think it's going to be difficult for him, for a horse that hasn't had any match practice yet this year. That's going to be a difficult task. But we have other horses down the scale that have as good a chance, if not better. Well, Petit Parisien disappointed me in Sandown the other day. I think she'll bounce back. You Calcare and Business Savola, now they're two that missed their Christmas engagements, so they could be well handicapped from last year. Depends how Noel O'Brien, the handicapper, has put in the juveniles from last year, and these two haven't run so far. And I think that band of horses might be well handicapped.
The Coral.ie Leopardstown Chase is a race with a great tradition. Mullins is responsible for 5 entries as he aims to win the race for a second time. 2014 Gold Cup second Sir Deschamps is the highest rated of the quintet and is set to carry 11 stone 9 in the big race. He will be hoping he can bounce back to form, having disappointed in the Lexus Chase at Christmas.
I put him in the race because he disappointed, and I think he probably needs match practice. I think the handicapper has given him a nice weight. He's obviously reassessed him downwards, and for a horse like Sir Deschamps at this time, who was second in a Gold Cup, missed a lot of time through injury, and now I feel it might be better to get match practice and to get back into something like his best form.
Coral have been associated with some iconic races cross-channel, but this sponsorship launches their first foray into Ireland.
As a business, we got the Irish licence, which entitles us to take bets from Irish punters. We've launched the URL Coral.ie. I think many people who follow racing in Ireland will be well familiar with the name Coral. They'll know we're a bookmaker in Britain, but maybe in the way that Boyle Sports and Paddy Power and even Ladbrokes and Hills have probably spent more time in Ireland introducing their brand, their personality, the services. Coral hasn't done that. This is our chance. We've got a famous reputation for horse racing. We've been associated with some wonderful horse races as sponsors. We have a passion for the sport. And yes, our plan is to, in this digital age where once we did have shops in Ireland, this is more about introducing our online services, our mobile betting, and hopefully this will be the first of many sponsorships.
Yeah, we're delighted to have Corals coming to Ireland as their first involvement in race sponsorship in Ireland. It's a great name for us to have, and we're delighted. The handicap hurdle itself is a fantastic one, 100 grand, and now with the link with another 100 grand on offer for a horse that goes on and wins a Coral Cup at Cheltenham, I think that bonus will be very well received. But it's always been a great race. Everyone, planning, trying to get there, get the right horse, and the only problem is there's a few people thinking the same way. And not to be forgotten either is the handicap chase, the Leopardstown Chase. Arkle won it 3 times in the 60s. That's the other big race on that card. There's the novice chase as well. 7 races, all sponsored by Corals. What more could you ask for?
Willie Mullins' horses have been in flying form in recent weeks, and he puts that down to the quality of his training facility.
Yeah, the horses are in great form. Possibly, looking at the winter we had, it was a very dry autumn, and I kept our horses back because it was too dry, and then we had the record wet time, and probably just the facilities here have been very good, and we've been able to keep horses on the go all the time, and lots of trainers had huge difficulties, I think, with wet gallops and things like that, and probably just nowadays maybe the facilities here are a huge asset to us when we come into weather like that.
So some big weeks coming up for Willie Mullins, and there's no doubt that he is the man they all have to beat on both sides of the Irish Sea at present.